All right. Hey guys, welcome back to the Underground. This is an emergency interactive chat, our weekly Solo Man podcast where we talk about everything, news, reviews, announcements, the brand new reason I need a PS5 Pro really bad, state of plays, PC support sometimes, all the things PSVR2 related. What is up, you guys? Now, I know I usually do this on Thursday nights. However, I might be really busy tomorrow. Plus, there is some extremely huge triple A big breaking news. So I wanted to share my thoughts and get it covered here ASAP because, quite frankly, I just can't sit still. Like, I am too excited and I just have to talk about this. So, for those who missed it, this is, of course, in regards to the state of play that just happened. And we got two really big pieces of news in regards to PlayStation VR2. And that is, of course, the Gran Turismo Spec 3 update, as well as Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. What? I cannot believe it. But this is, of course, interactive chat where I like to interact with you guys and say, what is up to Jason Ewing? Hello, Gastronaut. Good to see you. And Hamoud. Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in so quickly. I know this is a surprise one. So if you're tuning in tonight, hello, welcome. Get comfy. And if you're, getting ready, hearing this by the morning, getting ready for work and whatnot, get your coffee and just listen up because holy moly, we got some huge news today we're about to break down. What is up, GameCat Chicago? Good to see you, man. But yeah, so we're going to break down both of these announcements today. This is absolutely huge news. And if you can't tell, I'm a little bit excited, just a little bit excited. What's up, Stingray X? My homies. Good to see you guys. I am super hyped. And first we're going to talk about Gran Turismo Spec 3, which I've been playing a lot of GT7 lately. I've been absolutely obsessed with it, but also want to break down all the new things about that I know about Flight Simulator, which I have played quite a bit on PC. And have a little bit of discussion on that. We'll break down what, the bullet points, as Brian also always likes to make fun of me for. But we'll also share with you like some of my thoughts on what I've played from Microsoft Flight Simulator. Absolutely huge. Guy son, fist bump to you. Good to see you, man. Yes, Prentice SummerSlam, what is up? I do want to get into that as well. Not only what it means. This is the very first game that Microsoft has made in development for PSVR 2. And let's hope it's not the last, because just like you said, after they acquired ZeniMax Studio, Bethesda, basically half the market, most of the market, I had honestly kind of lost hope. And so it's really exciting for multiple reasons. Not only are we getting a AAA game, but we're also, this means that we don't know what the future could hold. There could be some more potential, especially if this does really well, which I think it will. This potentially means some exciting things for the future as well. We know they have like Skyrim, Fallout. They have access to basically all the IPs. Because they bought them all, and you know what? If they decide to bring them all over to PSVR 2, then I won't even care anymore. Like, fine, buy away Microsoft, because if you're still going to give us what we want, then I don't care. You can have it all. It's totally up to you. But before we get into the flight sim stuff, which is super exciting, I do want to first talk about and break down Gran Turismo 7 Spec 3. Now, obviously, this is the third major update. Let's go ahead and get the trailer going. So during the state of play, they came out and talked about how Gran Turismo has officially surpassed over 100 million units sold since its debut on the original PS1. Obviously, one of the greatest, well-known racing sims of all time. There's Kazunori Yamauchi, who we never doubted you, sir. We never doubted that you were going to do this awesome shit for us. And thank you, Yamauchi-san, for bringing such an amazing thing to consoles, not only to consoles, but to VR of all things. And but yeah, they talked about first about how they sold over 100 million units, which is a huge milestone for them. No pun intended. And they then said, in celebration of it, that they are going to be releasing their next major update, the Spec 3 update. And this is going to have new content, new features, new tracks, new cars, all sorts of goodies for us that are going to be as well PSVR2 compatible as well. So real quick, let's take a quick look at the Gran Turismo 7 Spec 3, the free major update coming in December. They say, they talked about this being over 100 million units sold worldwide. To mark this achievement, Spec 3 will be introduced as a major update for Gran Turismo 7 with new tracks, fresh cars, and an array of exciting features. The next chapter of driving exhilaration is about to begin. So this is all the stuff that it contains. There's 2 new tracks, Yas Marina Circuit and the circuit Gilles Villeneuve, I think is how you say it, something like that. 8 new cars, which they showed off a couple here that you can see. There's the new Ferrari. I don't know the exact models here. What is this? There's at least 4 cars that they're showing here. New Indy car. And then we got the GTR here. V-Spec N1 looks like. I don't know all these models. These are really high performance cars that are way out of my budget. Just a little out of my budget. I mean, I do own like 2 of them, but don't tell anybody. But okay, so there's 2 new tracks, 8 new cars, Dunlop tires, which is a funny thing to introduce. Hey, I guess Dunlops are pretty cool. A data logger for, I guess, when you're kind of like doing your runs, you can kind of use the data breakdown. That's for like the really, really hardcore racing nerds out there. The collector cap level is going to be increased, which means that we may get like new cafe items, or just for when you collect more cars, actually is more likely. Just they're increasing the cap. I think it's at 50 right now, maybe 51. Unlimited car invitations in Brand Central. That's interesting. The car invitations are, of course, you have to receive an invitation for certain to obtain certain cars in the game. You can't. They do have like tricks and things you have to navigate around to get certain ones. And that's going to be one of those ways. Enhanced weekly challenges. Now, these weekly challenges have been awesome. So I'm excited to see what they do to enhance these because quite frankly, the weekly challenges are the main thing that I go back in and do every single week and try to get at least 3 completed, if not all 5, to get like extra rewards. It's just the best. It's just the best like time friendly kind of way to grind. A new opening movie. Okay, look, I like the opening movie, but thank God, because I am so sick of seeing that same opening movie. Okay, so there is a new menu book, a seasonal menu. Sounds like a fancy restaurant we're about to be eating at. And we are definitely gonna be eating good here. New events in Circuit Experience, new curation in Scapes, which is where you can take the pictures of the different cars and different landscapes, improvements to online races, and more details to come. Now here's a quick look at some of the new tracks. This is the Yas Marina circuit here. Yes, Marina. Looks like this is out in the Middle East somewhere. And then there's the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. in Canada. I saw somebody saying in the I just was watching Gamescast or whatever, and I saw somebody mentioning that they live up in Canada and that they like rollerblade this track a whole bunch and they know it. So I mean, Gran Turismo has incredible attention to detail, which is super nice. I'm sure it'll be very, very close, very authentic, which is what I really, really like with these simulator experiences. What up, Emily Baxter? Hashtag cartoony witch game kitten, the gaming Alwyn. Yeah, I can't believe it either. Awesome Tatum in the house tonight. Yes, I am super pumped. What is up, Sal, my dude? So yeah, let's take another look at these, final look at this here. Here's again some of the new cars. This is the increased collector level, which I think most of us that play this a lot have maxed out by this point. Okay, so the invitations, I guess, have no more expiration date, which is nice. So if you get one of those, which is pretty rare, helps you get a little bit more rare cars that you have to have the invitation for. Now they're not going to expire. So if you don't have the money, you're not screwed, which is nice. Again, respecting the player's time, respect to the game. And then here's the weekly challenges. 6 days remaining. Limited time online event. Yeah, I don't see Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit, turn 1, turn 4, one lap magic. Okay, so it looks like these are just a little bit more. They're taking the weekly circuit or weekly challenges, which are typically right now just regular like Grand Prix and different races that you can compete in for these rewards. And it looks like they're actually developing some little bit more nuanced things. Like this is a 1 lap challenge. This is a time trial. Oh, that's what it is. There's a time trial there, mission challenge, special race. So they're kind of adding some depth to that as well. But this is really cool, guys. I mean, No Man's Sky. I mean, I'm sorry, not No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is also a forever game, but without a doubt, Gran Turismo 7 is another one of those forever games. You can just play this game forever. Like, it's so much fun. It's so immersive. It's really one of the best reasons to own a PSVR2, without a doubt. And here's a look at here's a quick look at the trailer that they showed. Let's blow this up so you guys can get a good look at some of the footage here, some of the stuff in action. There's Yamauchi-san showing, just talking about the thing, talking about the 100 million units sold. And then we'll get a quick look at some gameplay. But then we're going to move on because that's not the only really, really exciting news we have here. Hamoud says the only thing stopping me is space lugging that wheel setup. Yeah, I've gotten it. The wheel setup is definitely a lot, but it is worth it. And you know what? I just let it dominate its space. Here's the a look at the new tracks here. That's 1. That's 2. That's the Gilles Villeneuve. There's the new Ferrari, the new F1, whatever those are. The data logger, weekly challenges, which they show. Okay, so this is basically the same stuff we saw, but it was cool to see just a glimpse of it in action. But super awesome, man. If you haven't yet, oh my gosh, you have to play Gran Turismo. Like I said, it's literally one of the best reasons to own a PlayStation VR 2. It's a first-party exclusive. It's AAA. It's got loads, hundreds, if not I'd say at least hundreds and hundreds of hours of content. I have 200 hours in it myself, which is actually like on the low side compared to most of y'all, but I review every game that comes out. So I do what I can, but I've been basically just putting everything else aside and just playing in the little free time I have been playing Gran Turismo because, dude, that game just sucks you in. There's so many cool cars to collect and unlock. And it's like each car can really be like a unique, brand new experience, which, by the way, they did also just have a new update as well that just dropped yesterday. And I really want to check that out too. I haven't yet, but they added some kind of more civilian style cars, which I'm really excited about. They added like an Elantra N, and I think there was like an FJ Cruiser, like Toyota FJ Cruiser. Believe it or not, like the racing cars in Gran Turismo are of course just like next level, blow your mind technology, performance. But you would be really shocked how fun and immersive the just regular retail cars are to get in and drive around and test drive. So like, yeah, I never thought I would be like super excited to drive an Elantra N. But I am. I am now, like a Hyundai Elantra, and there was some other cool stuff. There was a really unique one as well that looked pretty sweet. But yeah, so I'm definitely going to be checking out that update. If I get tied up tomorrow, then I'm going to be busy doing that, some other stuff. But if I'm free tomorrow, maybe I'll jump in and stream that update, and we'll check that out together, unlock some of those new cars, and just soak in the hype, man. So Gran Turismo Spec 3 is coming in December, and I cannot wait. This is the biggest update. They said that this is their biggest update yet. Yeah, last time had like Lake Louise, which was the snow track. Awesome stuff. They've had a bunch of little smaller updates since then, but I think the Lake Louise was the last big like tracks and everything they did. And then they tweaked some of the dirt physics, which do feel better. They feel a lot better. You can actually win dirt rally races now. Hamoud says, my Toyota Celica will ram into you on turn 1, then spend the rest of the race spinning out. Yeah, in case you missed it as well, like the last stream I did a stream last week, 2 weeks ago, something, and played some GT7, raced in the Rally Celica. That was super fun. I had such a blast doing that stream. That was awesome. So, but yeah, lo and behold, my friends, that is not the only huge AAA game news for PSVR 2, because let me tell you, we not only now have the best console racing sim out there on PSVR 2, mind you, but now we are going to have the best period flight simulator with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. What? I don't even know how this is possible. It makes zero sense, because this game, even on really high-end PC hardware, this game can be really tough to run. If you now, I had like a 4060 Ti that I was able to optimize, make it look pretty great overall. But yeah, it still didn't run like perfect, but it looked really good and it ran pretty well. And of course now I've got the beast, the 4090, and I've played it a little bit on there. It obviously looks great, runs pretty smooth, a lot better. Still not perfect, but runs better, of course. But Bermuda Life, watching from Bermuda. Hello, shout out Bermuda peeps, tuning in. Thank you so much, man. But so Flight Sim 2024. Now I've played mostly Flight Sim 2020. And let me tell you, I've been really excited to check out 2024 because I absolutely adored Flight Simulator 2020. For various different reasons. Let's take a quick look. Let's head back over here. They actually have a PS blog post here, and let's run through this real quick. Flight Simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Again, the first Microsoft game to come to PSVR 2 so far. Hopefully it's not the last. I really hope this does well. That way we have increased chance of getting like Skyrim back and get our Doom games back, and maybe throw on a Fallout, something else. I know speaking with a lot of developers in the past, like Sony really, part of the reason we don't see a lot of old games coming back again, which is a big mistake, by the way, but the reasoning behind that is, from what I've heard from developers, is that Sony really wants to push things forward. They want sequels. They want new games to come out. And that's been a big thing I've heard, from behind the scenes as to like why you don't see maybe like every single game from previous gen making it over. Now, again, that's a mistake. They need to bring those games back to us. But that being said, that's kind of the explanation behind it, is they want new games like Flight Simulator 2024, which is now here. What up, Dead Ringer the Game Cat? Shout out to Dead Ringer Juniors. P-Jax Ego, hello, woo! Scott the PSVR Game Cat for life. So good to see you guys. Thank you so much. Patty Cakes, hello. Yeah. So, this is okay. So let's quickly break down like some of the things here. The Microsoft Flight Simulator franchise has delighted pilots and simmers for over 4 decades, and we are incredibly proud to bring this amazing experience to PlayStation for the first time when the game launches this December 8th on PS5 and PS5 Pro. So it sounds like it's going to have PS5 Pro support. Now, mind you, keep in mind, this is the flat screen version coming December 8th. The PSVR2 version is coming in 2026 via a free update. But there are like pre-order bonuses, things like that you may want to keep an eye out on in case they look, enticing enough to pick it up early. I probably will myself. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is the world's most advanced consumer flight simulator, offering an unprecedented level of realism and authenticity. With up to 125 detailed aircraft, we have developed the largest and most diverse fleet ever assembled for a flight simulator. We have an incredibly wide range of aircraft, nimble ultralights, a wide variety of general aviation aircraft, famous bush trip planes, rotorcraft, eVTOLs, airships, steerable balloons. Guys, there's going to be hot air balloons that we can drive and steer with this. That's crazy. All the way to sleek business jets, a fleet of narrow and wide body airliners, and even a heavy military transporter and fighter jets. I believe this has this does have helicopters as well, as shown in the thing, for a mode that I'm very, very excited about. And there's a big ass helicopter right here as well. Military transporter. To make this PlayStation experience truly shine, we embrace the immersive features offered by the DualSense wireless controller. Adaptive triggers respond to different speeds and surface types on the ground and provide sloped resistance in the air. Communications from air traffic control play through the controller speaker, simulating the feel of a real cockpit. Gyro controls, I almost said Euro controls. Oh my god. Light bar support and customizable touchpad further enhance the immersion during flight. Here's one of the space stations. What am I talking about? Airport stations. We unleashed the full power of the PS5 and PS5 Pro, so aviation enthusiasts can now, for the first time on PlayStation, fly anywhere on the globe at any time of day or year, land at over 40,000 airports and runways, and at over 60,000 helipads. I would say that there are helicopters if there are 60,000 helipads. Explore all 7 continents in stunning detail. Fly on your own or with friends. This part I was really interested what they mean by this, because the wording to me is a little wonky. Maybe some of you guys can help me understand. What is up, Blue Jew, the Underground Game Cat Elite Name Squad in the house? It says fly on your own or with friends from around world. I'm guessing they meant around the world, and even fly with accurate, real-time, real-world air traffic. Very interesting. But yeah, I'm curious what they mean fly on your own or with friends. I don't know if that's like a real-time multiplayer or if that's some kind of like, what do they call it? I can't remember the name of the word, but the multiplayer where you're not actually like there together in real time. Some of you can maybe help me with that as well. I forget what that's called. Asymmetrical multiplayer, I think, something like that. Um, or asynchronous multiplayer. Maybe it was asymmetrical. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but we'll see. Simmers on PS5 will test their aviation skills in some of the most visually stunning and technically detailed aircraft with accurate aerodynamics, fully flight tested by real pilots. Here we go. PSVR2 owners will be able to experience the entire game. The entire game through their headset and Sense controllers, with a free update that will be available in 2026. So guys, this is the mind-blowing part. Now I would have expected, like, you know, the full game is huge news, right? That's really, really big. I would have expected this to be DualSense controller, which I don't have it close enough to. Oh wait, yeah, I do. Hold on. So DualSense controller, I would have expected. And then I would have also expected HOTAS support, which it's, you know, likely going to have. I've got the Thrustmaster HOTAS 4, T-Flight HOTAS 4. There's a lot of other ones out there, but that's kind of just old reliable that I've had forever. It's interesting though. They said that it's going to have Sense controller support, which is our orbs, our PSVR 2 orb controllers. So that's very, very interesting. Most games and most hybrid AAA games like that, like they don't usually do that. Like Gran Turismo, you can't use your hands. You just use either the controller or you use the steering wheel. The fact that this is going to use the Sense controllers is very interesting because there's a lot of doohickeys and things. You know, of course, you've got your virtual HOTAS in there, but there's a lot of other, you know, buttons and stuff. But the cool thing about that is, like, sometimes I actually end up preferring that more than the HOTAS. Sometimes flight games are probably the only game I've ever sometimes liked the moves or the orbs more than a HOTAS, just because it's just more immersive. And they talked about it having sense control, the haptics, adaptive triggers. Obviously, that would apply to the Sense controllers as well. So that's pretty amazing. That's some next gen, pretty exciting things there. But wow, was not expecting Sense controller support. But the good news, the big news here really is that it's going to be the entire game. The entire game. That is awesome. And here's another shot of one of the helicopters. And now we've got some other exciting things here. We're not done yet, guys. We're not done yet. Almost there, but Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 introduces an all-new career system that helps new pilots learn how to fly the many different types of aircraft. Virtual pilots have access to a nearly unlimited number of missions and activities all over the world. Start your aviation career to gain experience and build your reputation, enabling you to unlock exciting missions in firefighting. Let's go. Search and rescue. Oh my God. That's that right there. The search. I would buy a game that was just search and rescue. And I'll tell you why in just a minute. Aerial construction, agriculture, which surprisingly I'm kind of low-key hyped for, and more. In addition to career missions, PS5 simmers can test their skills with a variety of landing challenges, rally races, and more, as well as compete against other players in the new Challenge League. Okay, so here's the other really, really exciting thing. My favorite, so there's two main modes that I played in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 that I really, really enjoyed the most. I know this game is a simulator, but but they actually had a couple gamey elements in Flight Simulator 2020 that were actually my favorite part. I'm like, holy shit, this is a game. One of them was like the ornithopter from Dune, the like dragonfly looking helicopter. And there was like a rescue mission where you had to fly and You had to fly out to in the desert. You had to pick somebody up, and then you had to outrace a sandstorm. That was super fun. Also, some of the racing challenges where you had to touch down, and it was kind of like a touch and go, where you would have to race and touch down and then take off again and hit all the checkpoints by landing on them. This game, the thing that when this was first announced, the thing that I was most excited about was that it seems like they included from the get-go a lot of these more gamey style simulations, stuff like the search and rescue. That is super cool. Having some experience with Flight Simulator 2020, again, that was literally my favorite thing that I experienced in there was the rescue mission. They're intense. They do test your skills. Visually, they're amazing. They're super fun. They're just like thrilling. They're thrilling and exciting, and it feels like a game. Using stuff like the helicopters here, I imagine. I don't know if they're going to have like rescue stuff with the planes, maybe. But I imagine the rescue stuff is going to be more helicopter mission based. And you see in some of this footage here, they have like people going to the woods and like rescuing people. That's really, really cool. That is awesome stuff right there. But I'm also pretty excited about some of the other things. Like they talked about the firefighter. I think you saw like an oil rig out on the water. And I'm pretty excited to see like, to go and be putting out fires, racing against the clock before everything becomes engulfed in flames and, dumping powder or water, whatever. I don't think they dump water on it. That's probably not a good idea, but they dump probably some like anti or like flame retardant, like powder that would put out the flames, like on an oil rig or something. I'm sure there's other things. Maybe it's the forest as well. Maybe it's farmers' farmland or something. That is pretty cool. Yeah, you see it. Okay, there it is right there. You saw the quick clip of it. And then there's stuff like this, the agriculture, where you could we get to go crop dusting, guys. Who's excited for crop dusting? I am, actually. I really, really am. We'll see how fun that actually ends up being. But and then you've got like fighter jet stuff here. Again, in 2020, they did have, and it was a Top Gun Maverick licensed mission. A lot of this stuff came in the form of like DLC. Again, later on, a lot of this seems like not licensed, seems more built into the original game itself. Real-time weather, absolutely really, really cool. Let's see here. I want to make sure I get any comments I can as well, since all 50 of you are here tonight. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much, man. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe, all the things you guys probably already are, but it helps a lot. It supports the channel. What up, dear Schnuff, Prozac? Good to see you. And everybody tuning in later, thank you. Good morning. Hello, welcome. Breaking news. Get up. Time to go to work. You're gonna be super distracted at work today. I'm sorry. Did someone say rescue mission? Blue Jew, you did technically call rescue mission was going to be announced today. So credit where credit's due in an adjacent way. Prozac says, I enjoy crop dusting in movie theaters. And I'm dead. And I'm freaking dead. Also, you're an evil freaking person for doing that. No, I'm sure you don't actually do that. But that is, I know when, I know it's, nobody talks about crop dusting in the actual legitimate way that it's intended to be. Oh, you guys are like, I'm tearing up a little bit. Oh my goodness. Anyways. Oh my God. Okay. What up, old Darth? But anyways, I'm really, really excited about the different game modes here, the different challenges, things like that. Those are the gamey stuff that, maybe people that aren't super into the really hardcore, just simulation style stuff. It'll be something for other people, for more casual audiences. But let me tell you, man, sort of like how if you're not a racing enthusiast, it doesn't matter. You'll be really, really into Gran Turismo 7. That's the same thing for this. You don't have to be a big like fan of airplanes, flight sims, whatever. You're going to be. You're going to become one because this shit's just that good. The other mode, besides the challenges, the other mode that was like really mind blowing and super cool was just like kind of like the free explorer kind of mode. So they did mention that there's going to be like classes, training stuff. That's going to be kind of like, like little, it's going to probably be kind of like a tutorial, but it'll teach you how to fly some of these planes. Trust me, you're going to probably want to do those. They do help. But it'll be like a tutorial / campaign. Then you'll have the challenges, the sort of mini game style stuff like the search and rescue, the firefighting. But then there's the other mode that will really, really blow your guys' minds as well. And they say you can fly around the entire continent. And this is something that was in MSFS 2020 as well. And that was like, it's got like the, let me see. I think I just want to make sure. Okay. Yes. This is, I think it's called geomapping. I wanted to make sure I looked that up first. But it's basically the thing that really blew my mind that I was not expecting was like the geomapping, the GPS mapping, satellite mapping, whatever you want to call it, where all of the locations throughout the world are really accurate. And when I say really accurate, I mean like I was able to, in Flight Sim, I was able to fly right over my house. I was able to fly around my neighborhood, over the neighborhood, I should say. I could see all the different streets. It basically uses the same technology as like Google Maps or whatever. And, I guess it's slightly different because this is probably more satellite. So it does lose like a little bit of like the fine detail, but like still you'll see like if someone has a pool in their backyard, like if you have a pool in your backyard, I do not, I wish I did. Actually, no, I don't because I've got a lot of trees and woods and that would suck. But no, you like, I literally was able to fly down the street and see like a Lowe's that was nearby. And I could actually see the Lowe's sign on the front of the store. And like, it's the same parking lot. It's all legit. It's all legit data that is used to create this thing. I of course live in Atlanta. I flew out of like Hartsfield Jackson, and like everything, which I've flown out of many, many times in my life. And like everything just looks so accurate. You can see they've even got the traffic and the construction is there, just like good old ATL. It is crazy accurate, but I was able to fly over my house. And like see my house and see like my friends' houses, things like that. It was super cool. And that's something you'll be able to do as well. Prozac says, is there an autopilot mode to just have a relaxing flight? That's a good question. Well, like most airplanes, if you just let go, like the plane's not just going to fall out of the sky. I mean, they're meant to go. I've actually done that with I've flown a real Cessna in real IRL. I've flown, it's the only thing I've ever flown, and it was once. It was a Cessna around Atlanta from a pilot instructor a long time ago. And I mean, he was telling me, he's like, look, like let go of the thing. And I was like, no, I don't want to. And he's like, just let go. It's fine. And I let go. And it's like, it'll keep going. So I don't know if there's a full autopilot, but it's such a massive world. I mean, it's literally like the size of the real world, almost, probably, if not. And like, you don't really need like an autopilot per se, but that would be pretty cool. Let's see here. What else was he saying? So that's the other really, really cool thing. I mean, you can pick any spot in the world. They said there's over 40,000 airports that you can choose from. I've started off, I've done from like Alaska. I've flown around Tokyo, which was really cool. Of course, Atlanta, where you live is is really where your mind will be blown. When you fly over the place where you live, that's the really mind-blowing stuff, because you're like, oh, like I see there's my store here and my store there and like my street here, and that's where it'll really blow your mind. But that being said, that showed me like how accurate that geomapping is. And then you go fly around these other, everything from exotic locales to like I said, to different cities, things like that. And they're giving you full customization of time and day. So yeah, this is a huge deal. And this is the next, we've been waiting kind of to see, like, is there going to be another AAA game? We don't get AAA games often in VR. And so it boggles the mind that we're not only getting a AAA game, but we're getting a massive flight simulator like this. This is the like definitive flight simulator, super realistic and authentic. And wow, I mean, this is huge. This is another system seller right here. I imagine a lot of people are going to go out and buy a headset for this, because this is way more accessible than what the barrier to entry than what a PC would cost. Like, it would cost you like thousands of dollars to be able to experience this in VR pretty like well on a PC. And this is, just a PS5. Now, that being said, yeah, this is going to be another reason to probably want a PS5 Pro. Now, as many of you know, I've been like waiting, and I'm still saving up right now for a PS5 Pro. It was basically because of No Man's Sky, but now I'm like, okay, this is a game that is going to need both the PS5 Pro support as well as the PSSR support, which is the AI resolution increase that gets rid of a lot of shimmer and things that the PS5 can't handle. This game's going to need all the bells and whistles. It's going to need eye track foveated rendering. It's going to need PS5 Pro hardware. It's going to need PSSR. And I imagine this may be, if not something sooner, this may be like the next at least big game that we see, at least new game that's going to have that. I imagine it will. What up, Mark Smith? Let's see here. Jamie Slark, Egyptian Magician says, ever been to the Vortex? Yes, but I didn't have that like triple bypass burger. But I'll tell you what, I'm excited to go fly over the Vortex. No, I've been to the Vortex, I think, for a comedy show, for burger and beer. They have some crazy like 5-stack burger. There's a lot of really good food in Atlanta, guys. If you ever come to Atlanta, don't go to anywhere fast food. Just go to any mom and pop place anywhere, and there's a 80% chance it'll be delicious. But anyways, I digress. Okay, so let's continue this article real quick and see the last couple things they have to say here. This is, I don't even know what this is, but this looks nuts. Oh, that's a Securite Civil. Is that, I don't know if that's a rescue plane or what. After the thrill of competition, PlayStation pilots can take on a more relaxing flight to explore and photograph famous locations and landmarks, and even search for exotic animals over the world. That is just something else that is like, wow. So I'm curious about this as well. They're landed right here. So can you actually get out of the plane, or what is this? Like, that would be pretty insane. But I imagine it's more just like taking pictures from the aircraft itself. But to be able to find exotic, like, there's so many games within a game in this game that I'm super excited about. Searching for exotic animals all over the world and landmarks, taking and doing photography. That's pretty badass. Now this is the last thing that they mention here that is mind blowing. And but real quick, Flippy Flippy says, I flew over my house the other day in Microsoft Flight Sim on PC VR. Sure, my house wasn't exactly right, but it was pretty damn good. Yeah. Like I said, you'll see like it's satellite mapping is what it is. So you'll see like it's pretty accurate. It's not going to be like every last detail, obviously, because it's taking a picture from satellites, but but it's going to be the best that it possibly can with that. Let's see here. Just want to make sure I didn't miss any other comments. What up, Milkaya, the Soul Even Gabe Cat, Raziel? Okay, so that's something new. That's pretty damn cool. I, as a huge lover of animals and nature photography and yeah, like that's actually something that intrigues me. I'm definitely more of an adrenaline junkie when it comes to VR. So I'm like search and rescue, firefighting, that kind of stuff, exploration. But I'm intrigued at least to see more on that. But here's the other cool thing, guys. Coinciding with the PS5 launch, December 8th, for the first time, players will be able to break the sound barrier in America's first civil supersonic jet, Boom Supersonics Demonstrator XB-1. Guys, in VR, we're going to be able to break the sound barrier. This thing's going to be fast as freaking hell. I cannot imagine, like, this thing would probably look fast in like third person on a flat screen, but in first person in VR, can you imagine if they get like the headset rumble, the haptics and the controllers booming? Oh my God, that's going to be absolutely insane. Developed by Asobo Studio, who are the regular developers of Microsoft Flight Sim. In partnership with Microsoft Game Studios, the PlayStation 5 version of Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 will continue to be updated with both free world updates and sim updates. The simulator also includes a robust marketplace filled with new aircraft, airports, and more from a very active and talented third-party creator community. So you get some of those third-party creations as well. But yeah, this game, just like 2020 did, this game, you can expect updates as well. So this is not only going to be like a game that you can play forever, but it's going to get random updates that coincide with like movie releases, and different like intellectual property kind of tie-ins, things like that. And like I said, I like one of my favorite things I should say from 2020 was the Ornithopter from Dune. That was freaking awesome. I don't know if that's in 2024 or if it'll be included. It was DLC. I think it was free DLC though, but it was awesome. Like it was really, really good. Join us to the skies. Lastly, they say here, join us to the skies to experience the thrill of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 on PS5 and PS5 Pro. Pre-order any edition and receive a famous aircraft on December 8th, the Northrop T-38-A Talon. For those who pre-order the Deluxe, Premium Deluxe, or Aviator editions, you will also receive early access to the simulator on December 3rd. Now, I got to tell you guys, there's a good chance I'm going to be pre-ordering this. I probably won't get the deluxe editions though, because I don't really care about the flat screen version. I care about the VR version, which is in development and coming 2026. So yeah, this is massive news, man. And it's really interesting. I think it's a really great move by Sony, and freaking thank you to Microsoft for doing this as well for VR, because like, again, once Microsoft acquired everybody in the industry, I was like, I lost all hope that they would ever bring anything back to VR. And I think this is going to sell a significant amount of headsets. I think it's going to sell a significant amount of copies and people playing in VR. This is a really big deal. And now PSVR2 has all of a sudden become pretty relevant again, especially when it comes to like simulators. I mean, if you're going to advertise PSVR2 for something, simulator is a pretty good one to have. It makes it a more accessible, more affordable way to play VR, which is very expensive. Now you look around the industry and it's like, wow, all of a sudden VR is not that expensive as it used to be, especially PSVR 2. And that's not even counting like what you can do with a PC adapter as well. But let's see here. But huge news. Now, I do have some questions and concerns over how it's going to run, especially on a base PS5. Again, this game really stretches the hardware pretty hard on even like mid-grade PCs. I had a 4060 Ti. It ran pretty well. I do think eye track foveated rendering could definitely play a part in helping this game. It's absolutely going to be reprojected. There's no question about that. Because if they don't do reprojection, it's going to look like garbage. And I would rather it be reprojected. It's a pretty, we'll see things. There can be like fast moments in the game, but I don't care. I don't care about the reprojection in this. Hopefully it's tolerable. It's not anything too bad. There are some concerns over that, but again, I would rather have this game with reprojection than not have it at all, because quite simply, it's not possible without reprojection, or it's going to look like trash. So I am, Petrick F says, I'm afraid it'll be blurry as F. Yeah, we don't really know yet. I think eye track foveated rendering should help a lot. I do expect it to be like, downgraded somewhat, visually, at least on a base PS5. On a PS5 Pro, however, we'll have to wait and see. I want to say the Pro is equivalent to like a 4070 graphics card. I think, don't quote me on that. That's just going off of random memory that I have. And that would be pretty good. Like I said, I had a 4060 Ti and it looked great. Like it didn't always run perfectly, but it ran well for the most part. Definitely playable and definitely fun. But yeah, so like I said, I'm saving up for the PS5 Pro. Shout out to everybody who has donated. Oh my God, right on cue. Sal, my dude, Salvador, thank you so much, my friend, for the donation. Love and support. Right back at you, my friend, with the 30 dono. Says, let's go. Vroom, vroom, whoosh. Yeah, man. Gran Turismo 7 and Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Holy shit. Both games are AAA. Both games are massive. Extremely fun, extremely detailed, authentic. This is the other thing. Again, you're going to get tons of updates down the line as well. Like, these are games that are going to last us for the rest of the gen, possibly a little bit into next gen as well. These are games that have long legs. But thank you so much, Sal, for the donation. Thank you to all the people down here, these lovely people that support me. Guys, said fist bump to you. Gotcha. That support me on patreon.com/PSVR Underground and are helping me work towards getting a PS5 Pro. I cannot wait. Still got some time before I can get it, but I'm getting there. I'm saving up. I'm keeping track of all the donations and everything, and gonna use all the help I can get to get one. Yeah, man, I just appreciate you guys' support so much, man. It really helps. This game's gonna have to be at least, I'd imagine, at least 60 frames per second, reprojected to 120. True Stars, True Nine says, what's up, AJ? Super hyped for this, especially while using a HOTAS controller. Haven't used them since Ace Combat VR. Oh my goodness. You haven't used it since Ace Combat. I guess, yeah, I guess Ultra Wings. I actually prefer the Sense controllers. Now, again, this is going to have Sense controller support, which is really, really cool. That makes all the toggles, the fuel line, the fuel line, the flaps. I'm trying to remember all the things in the play, even just like the ignition, if it has one. You get to do all those things. And I, like I said, especially if it's got like haptics, I prefer those in a lot of cases, which is really, really cool. I don't think it's going to be blurry, but we'll see. I think they may downgrade some stuff like shadows, texture, a little bit of the detail for VR if they have to, but I would rather them maybe do a little bit of that. Just find that sweet spot, right? Take a little bit of that detail out, take a little bit of, maybe bump down the resolution just a smidgen, find that sweet spot, a nice balance of texture, detail, as well as performance. The performance in this is really important, that it runs mostly well. It doesn't need to be perfect. Like I said, I've been able to play it with a couple little frame drops here and there on PC, and it's fine, especially if it doesn't sacrifice image quality. But let's see here. Low Key Gaming, what's up, homie? Says, I'm wondering if GT7 will get the Pisser update. PSSR, we'll just call it Pisser. I like that more. Yeah, it would be nice for that. I think there's still a significant amount of people playing Gran Turismo to where that would be a thing. Was there any other? Let me make sure there's no other notes that I was missing. My Twitter's exploding. Thank you guys for all of you that follow me on here at PSVR Underground. Don't forget about V-Racer Hoverbike. So it's coming December 8th. PSVR2 support in development for 2026. Full game, as a reminder. Sense controller support. That's pretty crazy. So there's PS5 Pro. So it sounded like they confirmed PS5 Pro support for December, the flat game. But you have to imagine that they're going to have it for the VR version as well, because it's just, I don't know how it would run. It's going to run, it's going to need it to run as best it can. 125 aircrafts, absolutely insane. Fly anywhere on the globe, career system missions. So we did cover most of this as well. Really, really amazing stuff, man. Super exciting times. This is really, really exciting times to be a PSVR 2 gamer right now. This is the kind of announcement that we needed. It would be nice to have Resident Evil 9 go along with it, but hey, this just shows you that Resident Evil 9 is not out of the realm of possibility here. And I think, I don't know, Flight Sim might actually be able to sell more because it's not a horror game. We'll see. Thank you, Mark Smith. What up, Mark Yo? Mark Yo, they said the Sense controllers will work. They said full game and Sense controllers in that blog post that we just ran through. But yeah, super exciting times, guys. We have a new the last AAA game we got was Hitman World of Assassination Trilogy, which, by the way, they're teasing a VR update soon. We don't know if that's going to be freelancer modes for us or if that's going to be the PC VR version updating to on par with the dual-handed of PSVR 2. What do you know? Now the PC VR has to get up to speed with the PSVR 2 version. Yeah, this definitely gives me a lot more hope for Resident Evil 9 coming to PSVR 2 as well. You know, if they just give us a couple of these AAA games like this, I don't care if they're third party, first party, whatever. Give us a couple AAA hybrids a year, or one, even just one a year, one massive one if it's a massive one. Like, I'm okay with that. That's good. That means that there are people still supporting PSVR 2 over at Sony. They're just kind of operating at the, most cautious way possible because they're very, concerned about profit margins right now, whatever. They are a business after all, big corporation, which goes along with the territory. But hey, if you're going to throw money at a AAA thing like this, like, I am game. Like this and Gran Turismo alone can amount to hundreds, if not thousands of hours of fun for all types of different gamers, casual gamers, hardcore gamers, simmers, as they like to say. Really, really good stuff. Very immersive, high-end technology. We think we've got the racing wheels. We've got the HOTUS controllers. That is super cool. But yeah, man, awesome news, huge news, and really, really excited. We got some stuff coming right around the corner as well, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, we've also got an amazing space survival sim in No Man's Sky. Okay, maybe it's not like full sim, but it's close enough. I have to disagree about No Man's Sky not having having zero VR interactions. I think it's definitely got some pretty good interactions. It's got a virtual HOTUS. It's got a lot of stuff that you grab and interact with and pull. Maybe it's not like, you can't do this with your fingers, but I don't care. Like I'd rather be able to jump into a plane and have a virtual HOTUS and stuff like that. But yeah, you grab your multi-tool from your back, you hit your visor for the scanner. I would say, for a hybrid game, I would say that No Man's Sky actually has an impressive amount of VR interactions, considering we've seen how much what has to be done to get that to work sometimes. It's amazing that it works as well as it does. Also, Light No Fire. Cannot wait for that. Probably, I think there's a good chance we end up getting Light No Fire on PSVR2 as well. Markio says, I find it really hard to believe they will put in a bunch of VR interactions if the game doesn't have it to begin with. Yeah, I mean, I think at least, maybe it won't have like Ultra Wings level of things, but there's really not that much. There's the HOTUS, the virtual HOTUS, the throttle, or the joystick, the throttle. There's the flaps, and then I mean, what Ultra Wings usually does is they'll have engage the fuel line and start the rotors and everything and stuff like that. No, I'm with you though. I'm with you. I'm not expecting a deep level, especially for every single cockpit, for 125 different airplanes. Yeah, okay. Point taken. They said sense controllers, so I don't know if that's a typo or what. I would have expected just the dual sense and a HOTUS support, and that'd be it. If they have sense controllers, that's just a bonus. Darkwing Chuck, thank you so much, man. I'm working on it. Working on that Pro. Oh man. All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to do it for now, but thank you to everybody tuning in now. Appreciate you guys. Tomorrow, if I'm not tied up tomorrow, I will try my best to do a Gran Turismo stream of checking out some of that new stuff. If not, I'm going to be tied up with just some personal things I'm still dealing with, but hopefully it gets cleared up within the next week or two, couple weeks at most, hopefully. Man, thank you to everybody once again here that goes to Patreon, supports me there. Thank you to Sal and everybody else who donates, supports me there. Thank you for just coming and chilling and hanging out. There's still a lot of you for this late, and I appreciate it, man. It's awesome to see so many people. I guess we're just all excited. There's a lot of people really excited. This is really exciting stuff. So, it's going to be hard for me to sleep tonight. And man, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is coming. I am so excited. And Gran Turismo Spec 3, that's going to be awesome. Super cool stuff. Well, thank you guys so much, man. You have a wonderful night. Let's get out of here with some metal and some good times. Let the good times roll. Emily Baxter, hashtag Cartoony Witch Game Kitten. Laters, guys on fist bump to you, Mark Yo. Have a great night as well, my friend. Scott the PS VR Dedicated Channel for life. So choose from the street tonight, but I'm down to one crutch from today, and I got tired figuring, so I need to get some sleep. Have a great night, Scott. Right on time, man. Get some good rest. Get that leg healed up soon. At least you can, you won't need to be fully healed. Hopefully you're on by then, but if not, hey, you can play Flight Sim, I guess. Should be able to. Flippy Nuggets. Thank you, Colin Loves. Appreciate you hanging out. Mark Smith. Emily Baxter again. Gastronaut. I'm hoping it's still blowing up that Microsoft needs the money sign to bring more stuff over. Yes, indeed. Alright, guys. Good track. Thank you once again. All of you have a wonderful night. And I will see you again very, very soon. Peace out, y'all.